ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेशा कानन कुंडल कुचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता वन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपथ दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका बलि मुख बाहि जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सभारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु सत्य के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंधि महा सुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। संकट मोचन हनुमान अष्टकम। बाल सबे रवि भक्ष लियो, तब तीनहु लोक भयो अधियारो। बाल सबे रवि भक्ष लियो, तब तीनहु लोक भयो अधियारो। ताहि सो त्रास भयो जग को, यह संकट काहू सो जात न टारो। ताहि सो त्रास भयो जग को, यह संकट काहू सो जात न टारो। देवन आदि करि बिनती, देवन आदि करि बिनती। तब छाड़ दियो रवि कष्ट निवारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बाली की त्रास कपीस बसे, गिरी जात महाप्रभु पथ निहारो। चौकी महामुनि शाप दियो, तब चाहिए कौन बेचार बेचारो। क्वेदिज रूप लिवाय महाप्रभु, क्वेदिज रूप लिवाय महाप्रभु। सो तुम दास के शोक निवारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बाली की त्रास कपीस बसे, गिरी जात महाप्रभु पथ निहारो। चौकी महामुनि शाप दियो, तब चाहिए कौन बेचार बेचारो। कैदिज रूप लिवाय महाप्रभु, कैदिज रूप लिवाय महाप्रभु। सो तुम दास के शोक निवारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। कौन ही जानत है जग में, कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। अगद के सगले न गए सिय खोज कपीस ये बैडी उचारो जीव तुरा बचियो हब सोजु बेड़ा सुधी लाए इया पगुडारो हेरी टटे टट सिद्धू सबे तब हेरी टके टत सिद्धू सबे तब लाए सिया सुधी प्राण उबारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन डावती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन रावती हारो रावण त्रास दही सिय को सब राक्षसी शोक निवारो ताही सबे हनुमान महाप्रभु जाए बाहर जनीचर मारो चाहत सिए अशोक सोहागी चाहत सिए अशोक सोहागी सुदे प्रभु बद्रिका शोक निवारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचर नामती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचर नामती हारो बाण लग्यो उर लक्ष्मण के तब प्राण तजे सुत रावण मारो बाण लग्यो उर लक्ष्मण के तब प्राण तजे सुत रावण मारो ले ग्रहा वेद सुषेण समेत तबे गिरि द्रोण सुबीर उपारो ले ग्रहा वेद सुषेण समेत तबे गिरि द्रोण सुबीर उपारो आदि सजीवन हाथ दही तब आदि सजीवन हाथ दही तब लक्ष्मण के तुम प्राण उबारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब नाग की फांस सबे सिर डारो श्री रघुनाथ समेत सबे दल मोह भयो यह संकट भारो आदि खगेश तबे हनुमान आदि खगेश तबे हनुमान जो बंधन काठी सूत्रास निवारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन रावती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन रावती हारो बंधु समेत जबे अहि रावण ले रघुनाथ पाताल सिधारो देवी ही पूजी बलि वेदी सुबल देहु सबे बेली मंत्र विचारो देवी ही पूजी बलि वेदी सौ बलि देहु सबे बेली मंत्र विचारो जाए सहाय भयो तब ही जाए सहाय भयो तब ही अहि रावण सैन्य समेत सभारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो काज किए बड़ देवन के काज किए बड़ देवन के तुम वीर बाहा प्रभु देखी बेचारो कौन सो सकट मोर गरीब को जो तुम सो नहीं जात है टारो कौन सो सकट मोर गरीब को जो तुम सो नहीं जात है टारो बेगी हरो हनुमान बाहा प्रभु बेगी हरो हनुमान बाहा प्रभु जो कछु सकट होए हमारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि सकट बोचन नामती हारो लाल देह लालील से अरुधरि लाल लगूर भज देह दानव दलर जय 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 कपिसूर पवन सुत हनुमान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। राधे कृष्ण की ज्योत अलौकिक तीनों लोक में छाए रही है। राधे कृष्ण की ज्योति अलौकिक तीनों लोकों में छाए रही है। भक्ति विवश एक प्रेम पुजारिन फिर भी दीप जलाए रही है। भक्ति विवश एक प्रेम पुजारिन फिर भी दीप जलाए रही है। कृष्ण को गोकुल से राधे को, कृष्ण को गोकुल से राधे को बरसाने से बुलाए रही है। दोनों करो स्वीकार कृपा कर जोगन आरती गाए रही है। दोनों करो स्वीकार कृपा कर जोगन आरती गाए रही है। भोर भये ते साँझ ढले तक, भोर भये ते साँझ ढले तक सेवा को नित नैम हमारा। स्नान कराए वो वस्त्र ओढ़ाए वो भोग लगाए वो लागत प्यारा। स्नान कराए वो वस्त्र ओढ़ाए वो भोग लगाए वो लागत प्यारा। कब ते निहारत आपकी ओर, कब ते निहारत आपकी ओर की आप हमारी और निहारो। राधे कृष्ण हमारे धाम को जाने वृंदावन धाम पधारो। राधे कृष्ण हमारे धाम को जाने वृंदावन धाम पधारो। राधे कृष्ण हमारे धाम को जाने वृंदावन धाम पधारो। हनुमान चालीसा में कितने सुंदर से बोला जाता है। सो ब्यूटिफुली दे आर सेइंग, श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुखर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारी। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुखर सुधारी। We were talking about the Mahima of a Guru, right? Guru is a kavach. And what are we talking about? We are talking about Vibhishan Gita. In what context are we talking about Vibhishan Gita? We are talking about Vibhishan Gita from the Ramcharitra Manas written by Tulsi Baba. But as of now, we are in the 9th book of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, and in that we are doing the Ramcharitra. And Ramcharitra is not very long in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. However, his charitra is so divine that unless and until you talk about him in great depth, the heart does not feel satisfied and the yearning does not end. So we took the opportunity given by us to Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran to narrate and talk about Sri Ram. A few more sessions and our Ram Charitra will be described, or we would have touched the tip of the iceberg. But then Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta, no amount of talking about Ramji can do justice or can even describe him, or probably describe him even a bit. But it's okay. So we were talking about Guru Mahima and Hanumanji. Before, when we start Hanuman Chalisa, we always say, with the dust of the feet of the Guru, may I cleanse my heart. May I cleanse my man. May I cleanse my buddhi. May I cleanse my chit. May I cleanse my tongue. And after that, may I sing the glories of Sri Ram, Sri Hari, Sri Prabhu. So what does the Guru do? Guru cleanses us. Yes, that is all that the Guru does. See, the Guru is not going to handhold us and say ki, okay, this is the path and this is the experience, because there is no similar path for everybody. The sooner we understand Sanatana Dharma, the faster we'll understand that every individual has an individual path. Hence, Sanatana Dharma is a way of life. There is no religion called Hinduism. We are so liberal, I would say, in a way that we let everybody have their own path to reach the same divine. If you like Hari Katha, listen to Hari Katha. If you like Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, listen to Bhagavad Mahapuran. If you want to reach the divine by chanting Gita, kindly do that. But आपको तो रस अगर रामायण जी में आता है तो why not pick up the Ramayana? And if you are in love with only one line of the Ramayana, probably, like I have fallen in love with मैं अरुबोर तो औरते माया, kindly go ahead. Even that one line is enough. Some people would like to read all the scriptures. Some would just like to be. Is there anything wrong? Not at all. Because Sanatana Dharma is not only what is read and what is done at the temple. Sanatana Dharma brings spirituality to our very existence. And in Sanatana Dharma, this Guru Parampara is very strong. Because one after another, one generation after another, the Guru helps his disciple reach the divinity within them. Reaching the divine is equal to reaching the divinity within the self. When there are no two, is there any difference between that divine and this divine? No, right? There is none. And when there is no two, and there is no difference between that divine and this divine, what stops us from bowing our heads in front of a Guru? The first thing that Guru does, or when you take somebody to be your Guru, or when you take somebody to be your superior, or when you feel that somebody can lead you towards Lord, you know what happens? Your ego comes. Your ego falls. Your ego goes down. And once the barrier of ego, once the fort of ego is cracked a bit, once the veil of ego is a little bit removed, not completely also. Suppose there's a slight crack through which the sunlight can go in. अगर इतना भी हो जाए, slowly and gradually, that trickle will become a gush, and that gush will become a mad rush, and that fortress of Andhakar will be totally broken. And who is Guru? Guru is the one who brings you out from darkness to light. He removes the darkness and brings light. Beautiful, isn't it? But the irony is, we consider ourselves so superior that we even find faults in the sages and the sannyasis. And in the last session, that is what we discussed. Don't judge. There are multiple types of gurus, various types walking this earth, and they have different ways of approaching the same divine. And there is nothing wrong, because we just discussed that Sanatana Dharma is a way of life. As many people, that many paths. No one path. It cannot be. When I don't see, he's sitting here, probably sitting in the same room, if I don't see the ways the way you see it, we don't. We do not see the world in the similar manner. The sooner we understand this, the greater our acceptance towards everybody will become. We feel that the world should be seen the way we see it. People should be understood the way we understood. Expectations should be met according to our wishes. But that is not true, right? Why should any two have the same expectations, have the same motives, have the same likes and dislikes, then the world would have become so boring. The Lord likes color. The Lord likes diversity. The Lord likes the garden with multiple fragrances. And what does a guru do? Guru does not take away your independent fragrance. Guru does not ask you to change your way of thinking. Guru just opens the divine path. He says, this is the divine light. He gives you a light, in fact. And he says, now with this light of knowledge, with this light of Gyan, with this light of the self, now walk the path. Live your life. A true guru will never make you leave your grihasti or your household life. If you're a wife, you can be a wife. If you're a child, you can be a child. If you're a student, kindly be a student. If you're a husband, be the best husband. Nobody is ever going to ask you to just leave everything and go to the path, because that is not what our scriptures preach. Most of the divine gurus, most of the divine sages, name it and you will know that they were grihastis. That is why there are 4 ashrams, isn't it? Aren't there 4 ashrams? Yes. What are the 4 ashrams? Brahmacharya ashram, then grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, then sannyas ashram. Fir, the problem is, neither do we lead the brahmacharya ashram properly in our childhood. We are not free from desires. Like Ram and all were, they were sent to the Gurukul to abstain from luxuries and find their divine self under Vashisht, gurus like Vashisht. Nor do we live a grihast life the way it is prescribed by the scriptures. And that we have discussed in depth in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. What are the duties of a grihasti? The duty of the grihast does not end with his family, his blood relations, the 4 walls of his house. He is indebted to a lot of things, because if you realize, in all the 4 ashrams, which ashram earns? The grihast ashram. Brahmachari, the children, the students, they don't earn. Vanaprasthis and sannyasis, they don't earn. So this grihasti has the responsibility of all the other 3 ashrams on his shoulders. The grihast has the responsibility to feed the animals. The grihast has the responsibility to take care of the pitra. The grihast has the responsibility to do the havas and take care of the devas. The grihast has the responsibility to nurture the future generation and pass on this divine knowledge. The role of a grihast, a householder, is immense. And the householders are very divine. Who says that a sannyasi is a sun and a householder is but a candlelight? And who says that the sannyasi shines bright and the householder merely creates any light? That could be true. That could be true for a great sannyasi, a divine realized sannyasi, and a heen, fallen grihasti. But not true for an ideal grihasti. An ideal grihasti who lives his life as per the recommendations of the scriptures and our Sanatan Dharma is equivalent in brightness to 1,000 suns. And many a time, grihastis like Janak, grihastis like Vishwamitra, grihastis like Ram, grihastis like Krishna have proved it. Yet, we refuse to accept it. We refuse to accept that a grihast can be divine. We refuse to accept that we are also meant for realization. 2 people come together, as Kirit Bhaiji said, not for bhog, but for yoga. The purpose of an individual's life is self-realization. Be it a brahmachari, be it a grihasti, be it a sannyasi or a vanaprasthi. But if the essence of our very existence is forgotten, then even a sage can be fallen and grihastis and householders can be downtrodden. क्या कह सकते हैं फिर? But it is not fair to compare blindly, especially when our scriptures speak with examples. So that is why we need a guru to give us a direction. In fact, in our scriptures, in our Sanatana Dharma, the status of a guru is not a teacher who gives us a material knowledge. With all due respect, we have to bow low towards them also, because they are equipping us to live in this world. But guru is a reference to the person or the individual who is able to awaken us, who is able to help us break the shackles of Maya and walk on the path of self-realization. That is a guru. And each and every individual should have a guru. No if, no but, nothing. Now what is a guru? A guru is the one who awakens. Is it necessary for a guru to be a person? No. The guru can be a person, can be older or younger, can be a sannyasi or a grihasti, can also be a child, can be a tree, can be a mountain, can be a bee. Have you heard about the story of the 24 gurus? 24 gurus, Dattatreya was in the jungle, and when Dattatreya was in the jungle, he was observed by a king. And when the king came and he saw that Dattatreya was strong and healthy and he had everything with him. Yet he chose to live a life in the jungle. He chose to live a life of a nomad, just going around, nothing. Then he chose to give up all his luxuries. Then this king asked, this Yadu king asked, why do you follow this way of life? What is it that has inspired you to become an avdut? Who is your guru? At that time, Sri Dattatreya said, I have many gurus. I have multiple gurus. Okay? Of which 24 have inspired me the most. And because of them, I have established myself in this life of avdut. And what is the struggle right now? What do people fight for? People keep arguing and saying, only one guru. We can have only one guru, and we can look up to only one guru. We can respect to only one guru. We can follow only one guru. Is that true? That is not. When there are no two, everybody is one. All gurus are also divine, right? Just we have to learn from Hanumanji. Jaha Hari Katha, Vaha Hari Bhakt. He does not say that I am going to listen to Hari Katha only from so and so person. No. Wherever there is Hari Katha, Hanumanji comes and sits. So over here, Dattatreya Ji is also saying the same thing. You can have multiple gurus who can inspire you. They need not be only people. They could be everything that you look at. When you look out, I remember in Dubai, when you look out, during the winter season, there are a lot of birds, right? But when the heat starts coming in, what happens to the birds? They start migrating. They start going to places which are conducive for their existence. They don't stay in Dubai through the summers. They go away. They are migratory birds. So they migrate from one place to another to survive. What do we learn from these migratory birds? Can we learn something from them? What can we learn from them? We can learn from them that Although God has given us everything, He has given us all the enjoyments of the world. We have been very lucky. We have everything on a silver platter. But that does not mean that we stagnate. Stagnation stinks. We just are not meant to just be here and revel in whatever has been given to us and stop moving forward. Because if the birds would have thought the environment is so good, Dubai is so good, it is okay, we will stay here forever, they would have perished in the heat because they did not fly or take the flight at the right time. So, in the same way, when everything is conducive to us, when everything is as per our requirement, when everything is nice and enjoyable, that is the right time when one should take on to Harikatha. That is the time when you should start praying and relying on the Lord. कहते ना, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख पे करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. पर हम सुख में सुमिरन नहीं करेंगे. When in our heydays, when we are young, we will not pray to God. We will wait for old age. In old age, what will happen? You will be so bothered about your bodily conditions. Even now, for instance, for today, even in young age, we have conditions. At old age, will we be able to focus on the Harinam? Will we be able to do the tapasya that is needed? Will we be able to take an asana and chant? Or we will be concerned about ye dukh raha hai, wo dukh raha hai, haath dukh raha hai, pair dukh raha hai. Spirituality is not for old age. Spirituality is for the youngest of the Lord. The sooner you start, the better. You should not pick up the Gita or the Bhagavad when you are 70 or 60. Pick up the Gita and the Bhagavad when you are 4 or 5. They say, by the age of 18, learn the Gita by heart. Because once you have learned it by heart, it will be, understand it, and you'll be able to implement it in your life, and you would lead a life as per the scriptures, as per spirituality, as per Sanatana Dharma. But if you open the scriptures at 60 or 70, it's good, it's not bad. However, इस लाइफ में तो पार नहीं लगेंगे, लग भी सकते हैं, you never know. But still, the sooner you start, the better. So when is the time to start? It is now, right now. Take the Lord's name right now. Your life is only meant to reach Lord. I know, it sounds very blunt. You'll say, फिर बाकी सब? See, बाकी सब भी रुकता नहीं है ना. That is what the Guru teaches us. Over here, look at it. How beautifully an Avdut is learning from the earth. When we say spirituality, when we say Sanatana Dharma, when we say turn towards God, we get scared, isn't it? Because everybody thinks that if we turn towards God, we have to leave our families. If we turn towards God, we have to leave our loved ones. If we turn towards God or spirituality or scriptures, we cannot lead a so-called normal life. That is not true. You can wear whatever you want to, you can dress up the way you want to, you can talk to whoever you want to, you can live wherever you want to, yet be spiritual. Who says that there is a certain way to be? Nothing. It is all within. Because all that is external is a myth any which ways. It is not real. What is within matters. What is in your heart matters. What is in your mind matters. So over here, when Dattatreya asked about his gurus by the Yadu, he says, I have 24 gurus. So I'll send the entire list to you. We'll discuss a few here. He says, earth is my guru. Air is my guru. The sky is my guru. Fire is my guru. Sun is my guru. The pigeon is my guru. The python is my guru. The sea is my guru. The moth, the elephant, the ant is my guru. Fish, the pigla, arrow maker, the playful boy is my guru. Moon, honeybee, deer, bird of prey, the maiden, the serpent, the spider, the caterpillar, and water is my guru. I have many gurus, of which I will talk to you about these 24 and what they have taught me. So if an individual says, I have no guru, he is wrong. You have a guru who is able to awaken you. He might be in person or he might be in kind. He might be tangible, he might be intangible. But you cannot deny having a guru. Anything that awakens us becomes our guru. Awakens us towards what? Towards God realization, towards self-realization. He says, when I look at Mother Earth, I feel that everybody is so mean to her. They stomp on her, they step on her, they plow her, they dig her, they kind of abuse her. They make her barren at times, they cut off all the trees. Yet, Mother Earth never revolts. She never gets angry. She's always loving, she's always kind. She always yields fruits, she always yields crops for everybody. She does not say that a person who is hurting me will not get my fruits and the person who is kind to me will get my fruits. So over here Dattatreya says, Mother Earth teaches me to keep a big heart, to love everybody and not think about what they are doing to me. Think about what I can do for them. Then he says, air. The air is my guru. He says air actually does not have any order in itself, right? No order, no smell. However, if the air passes through a flower, it will pull the fragrance of the flower and spread it, right? But after a while, it will drop the fragrance of the flower again and become odorless. But suppose it is passing through a trash can, the trash can smell will also linger on. And it will go on with her for a while, with the air for a while. However, it will again drop it, right? The smell of the trash or the fragrance of the flower does not remain in the air forever, does it? No. The air does not have any smell eventually, even if it comes in touch with so many things. So, we should remember that just like the air, neither sorrow nor joy, nor agony, nor fame, nor defame, nothing should touch us. Nothing should be able to take us or make us oscillate. We oscillate, isn't it? From sorrow to joy, from happiness to sadness, from anger to love. We oscillate. But we forget that our true nature is Sat Chit Anand Swarup. And we should always, no matter what, be established in our Sat Chit Anand Swarup, or whenever we oscillate, we should quickly try to come back to our Sat Chit Anand Swarup. No joys or agonies, no sorrows and pain should be able to move us at all. He should keep his heart, feeling and his speech unpolluted by vain objects. किसी ने मुझे बुरा बोला तो मैं बुरा बोलूं. That person was mean to me, so I am hurt, so now I'll be mean to him. No. It just touches you and goes away. It will feel as if the air has a fragrance. It will feel as if the air has a smell. But no, it does not. It will drop it as easily and move on, pure and hard, no lingering on to anything. When we talk about the sun, when we look at the sun, don't we see how selfless the sun is? Whether you close your curtains, you open your curtains, whether you like the sun, you dislike the sun will give you the warmth and the sunlight. Whether you do Surya Namaskar and pray to the sun, or you sleep through the sun and wake up only at night, the sun is still loving and kind. It illumines everybody. It gives warmth and brightness to everybody. In the same way as the sun illuminates many forms in the nature of our vision, the sages too illuminate the true nature of all things to his devotee. That is what the gurus do. They don't give you anything. See, many a times we feel that knowledge comes from outside. Wisdom comes from outside. Gyan comes from outside. Nahi. It is all within us. We know everything, but it has been covered by a veil. What is that veil? Veil of Agyan, veil of Andhakar, veil of vices. And what does a sage do? As we said, he just bit by bit removes the veil, removes the layer of negativity, removes the layer of vices, removes the layers of poison that we have covered ourselves with. And voila, we shine. We are the all-knowing. So what the sages do is just make us go within and realize who we are. Just like the sun illuminates everything it touches, a guru or a sage illuminates everybody he touches. Beautiful. And then there is this one which is my favorite, about the moth. We have seen a moth, right? The moth always goes and falls into the fire, knowing that he'll get burnt in the fire. The moth will go, he'll fall in the fire, knowing that he'll get burnt in the fire. Why would a moth do that? When he knows it's dangerous, why should it go into the fire? We know it is dangerous, we don't go into the fire and fall, right? No, we also do the same thing. Every day, every minute, we are acting like the moth. We feel the moth is crazy, he is falling in the fire. We also are falling in the fire of samsara every single minute. And this fire of samsara, this fire of Maya is burning us. It is destroying our very existence. It is destroying our very purpose. But we don't realize it because Maya to bahut achhi lagti hai na. The comforts, the joys, the beauty of this world. My family, my companions, my things, my possessions, my house, my car, my luxuries, my beautiful life. We all like it. Maya kisko achhi nahi lagti. So that is the same way. The moth loves the fire, so he falls in it, not knowing that if he falls in the fire, he'll burn to his death. We also love the material world. We love Maya so much that we fall in it and burn ourselves. From the liberated souls that we are, from the unbound existence that we have, we fail and we forget and we think that we are bound. That is what we do. So when we look at the moth, when he said, Dattatreya ji said, when I look at the moth, it reminds me of all those people who are falling in Maya and burning to their death and forsaking liberation. For what? For these mundane, small, momentary pieces of joy? That is what Dattatreya ji says. And then he says one more thing. The ant, he talks about the ant also. What is the ant? When you look at the ant, you'll learn that the ant is very funny. If you put, sugar, or if you put food, or if you put bread, whatever, wherever the ant sees food, what does the ant do? It takes it and carries double, triple, so many times its weight, and it goes and puts it in its house, right? The ant hill. It takes it and stores and stores and stores and stores. And do you know what? The ant cannot eat all the food it takes and stores. It's impossible for the ant to eat it. That is why the ant is plundered. The ant is plundered by other animals because they know there is food. The ant has stored so much food that the ant itself will not be able to finish. So from that I have learned, don't hoard, don't plunder. Greed is bad. Greed leads to your demise. What all of us do is greed, right? Just like the ant, we also save for the rainy days. Not knowing that when the rainy days come, we might not have what we have been slogging for. Instead, if the ant would have shared its food, animals would not have attacked her house, right? Because there would not be the smell of excess food coming from its house. It would be full, others would be full, and it would be safe. However, what do? We also plunder. We rob, we steal, we hoard. Don't we hoard? Ask yourselves, how much more than you actually need? how much more than we actually need is there with us. Be it money, be it things, be it equipments, be it clothes, anything. We plunder. We take from the nature more than we give, and that is where the entire problem is. Why can't we have a life of simple living and a high thinking? Then what happens? Then we get plundered. Then we get attacked. Like current attack is happening, right? And it is not a new phenomena of what is happening right now. We are being attacked by the nature. It is not a new phenomena. Every time we cross our limits, Mother Earth, the nature, unleashes its anger to curb us. Because we are greedy. We have no control on our desires. So he's saying, I learned. But at the same time, I learned one more positive thing from the ant. The ant is tireless. It works and works and works and works, and it never becomes tired. It never gives up. And so we have to be tireless on this path of self-realization. Nobody said that the path of self-realization is easy. डॉक्टर बनने के लिए कितनी पढ़ाई की, इंजीनियर बनने के लिए कितनी पढ़ाई की आपने? For whatever you had to become in life, how much did you study? For a chartered accountant, for an MBA, for any entrance exams, how many years did you study? But what? The self-realization process has to be effortless. ऐसा नहीं होता. You have to walk on the path and keep walking till it becomes effortless. It requires hours and hours and hours of input. Your mind will say नहीं करना है. Your mind will say क्यों करना है, किसके लिए करना है, what is the need, but you will be persistently walking on the path. कि no, this is what I need to do. Just like the ant, work on the path tirelessly till the effort becomes, all the effort, all the exercise becomes effortless, and that is when the journey to self-realization starts. So over here, Dattatreya Ji says that I learned from the ant that a seeker of wisdom, so too a seeker of wisdom should be tireless in their efforts for self-realization. The noble truth has the little ant taught me and become my 11th guru. This is the noble truth that my little ant has taught me. Don't succumb to greed. Don't succumb to desires, and work effortlessly towards self-realization. Tirelessly till it becomes effortless. You have to work tirelessly till it becomes effortless. अरे भैया आग का दरिया है और आपको डूब के ही जाना पड़ेगा. But at the same time, our scriptures are not asking us to leave the world. When you look at the lotus, what does it teach you? No, it is not one of his gurus. But when you look at the lotus, we have learned so much from the lotus also, right? It says, ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो, ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो, करम कर जिंदगानी में. ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो, करम कर जिंदगानी में. जियो दुनिया में यो जैसे कमल रहता है पानी में. कमल उस कीचड़ में ही रहता है. आपको संसार छोड़ने का कोई नहीं बोल रहा है. They teach us how to live our life beautifully, so that when we die peacefully. Such a beautiful example. And then this example of an arrow maker. It's very simple example. Dattatreya Ji must be walking out and he must have seen an arrow maker. Okay? And when he saw the arrow maker, what did he see? That there was this arrow maker who was busy sharpening the tip of his arrows. And at that time, a great battalion passed through. There were soldiers and horses and camels and elephants with chariots and kings and princes and all the entire battleships. Everything passed by. It was noisy. It was dusty. It was scary. But this arrow maker, he was so oblivious of all else that he did not even notice this royals passing by. The sight awakened in me, Dattatreyaji says, the truth that such single-minded, all-absorbing contemplation of the self spontaneously eliminates all temptations for the trivial interests of the world. भाई इतनी तो लगन होनी चाहिए ना, इतना devotion, इतना dedication. What do we say? How are we? We are going to go to the mandir, है ना, to do our puja. ठीक है, it is 7 o'clock. It is my morning prayers time. Suddenly the doorbell rings. And when the doorbell rings, you put your plate and go open the door. And then what happens? A friend comes. She said, hello, I was just passing by. I thought I'll meet you. He said, yes, please come in. Are? And then do you pray together? No. You say, चल चाय बनाती हूँ, अपन बातें करते हैं थोड़ी देर. पूजा तो मैं बाद में भी कर लूँगी. अरे? Really? This is how much importance do you give to the Lord. And then whenever there is problem in your life, you want the Lord to give you priority. खुद तो देखो ना क्या करते हो. फिर भी that poor thing gives you priority. हमारी expectations from the Lord ऐसे नहीं होता. He says, this arrow maker taught me that if I have that single-minded focus, that single-minded attention towards the Lord, that no matter what comes, kitni bhi maya, kitni bhi desires, kitni bhi riddhi, kitni bhi siddhi, all those temptations will pass by, but I won't sway towards them. Then and only then can realization happen. That is what I learned from the arrow maker. In the last session, we talked about who? The king who took Gyan from whom? A person who was making pottery sitting under a chariot. A king came all the way. Why? Because the king said, I have everything, but I don't have Anand. See, there is a big difference between enjoyment and joy. They are temporary. They are all momentary. Anand is eternal. It will never get over. That we are. We are Anand, yet we chase momentary joys. And that is what he says. When he is talking about a playful boy over here, he says, little boys and girls know neither honor nor dishonor. अभी कट्टी हुई वापस बात कर लेंगे. But as we grow up, oh my God, somebody did something to me for 10 years, 20 years, till death happens, we won't talk, we won't forgive. So he says, these little boys, they don't know any honor. They do not nurse a grudge or prejudice against anyone. They do not know what is their own or what belongs to others. Kitte namra, kitte simple. Their happiness springs from their own self. The difference between a child and us is our happiness springs from outside. We have given our locus of control outside. Our locus of control is not inside. Sad, isn't it? We have given the locus of our control. We have given the control of our happiness. We have given the control of our joys. We have given the control of our moods. We have given the control of our existence to others. People, situation and things. मुझे ये मिलेगा तो मैं खुश होगा. मुझसे वो ढंग से बात करेगा तो मैं खुश होगा. If somebody is kind to me, I'll be happy. If somebody glorifies me, I'll be happy. अरे भाई, whether somebody glorifies you or says something negative about you, does it change you in any way? Nothing. What you have done remains the way it is. Whether somebody talks to you or does not talk to you, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? That is his choice. Whether you have something or not, how does it matter? Over here, the little boys and the girls taught Dattatreya ji that happiness is inside. We seek happiness outside. Bahar nahi hai. Happiness is a state of being that we are. Nobody should be given the power to make us sad, to make us agonized, to make us distressed. Keep that locus of control inside. Don't let a thing determine whether you're happy or not. Be happy. And if that thing comes your way, use it. Again, there is a misconception here. People think that a spiritual person has to denounce. अरे किसने denounce करा? By choice हो जाता है. As you walk towards, you feel all these things as mundane. And you move towards simplicity naturally. But scriptures don't say that you have to throw away your gadgets, you have to throw away your cars, you have to throw away your dresses, nothing. It will happen where it has to happen. Because you'll realize how useless these things are. It's a very simple thing. We have talked about marginal utility. We talk a lot about marginal utility in colleges, right? What is it? You give 1 spoon of ice cream, you love it. Then you shove another scoop of ice cream in that mouth, he'll still be happy. Then you shove another, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and by probably the 7th scoop, the utility of this thing, he would not like that ice cream anymore. He's going to start hating that ice cream. Because he has had too much of that ice cream. The marginal utility is diminishing now. And when the marginal utility of things can diminish, we know that they are not permanent. When a scoop is giving me joy and 10 are not, my joy is not in the scoop. Otherwise, my joy should have increased every time, right? 100th scoop, I should have been extremely happy. By 100th scoop, I might be dead. So, try to understand. When you look at children, they giggle for no reason, right? Look at the baby. अपने आप ही हंसेगा, अपने आप ही खेलेगा. He'll be happy to look at his own hands. Why aren't we like that? That is our true nature. What has happened is, as we grew, we conditioned ourselves. So why do we need a guru here? The guru will help us uncondition, unlearn. Put the burden of that strong learning away. Life is very simple. Life is very beautiful. We have complicated it beyond a point. The guru will help us uncomplicate our life again. That is why we need a guru. And it has been proved time and again. And are gurus desirous of anything? What is the characteristic of a guru? Are the gurus desirous of anything? कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे शिष्य से कुछ चाहिए? नहीं. There are a few characteristics you can keep in mind when you think of a guru. And the guru has to be a Mangal Murti. Right? Very Mangalmay. He has to be Shant Murti. Calm. And then you'll say there are certain gurus like Durvasa Rishi who goes around swearing and cursing. Are bhai, again you're judging. Why are you judging? Durvasa Rishi, when he cursed Amrish, when we did Bhagavatam, what was the end result? The end result was people could see the glory of Raja Amrish. People could see that the Sudarshan Chakra itself came to protect Raja Amrish. People could see how divine a devotee is, because unless and until Raja Amrish forgave Rishi Durvasa, even Lord Vishnu could not. He said, Vishnu ji said, मैं तो मेरे भक्तों के अधीन हूँ. Durvasa Rishi, आप जाके अमरीश जी से माफी मांगिए. Apologize from Raja Amrish. So was it a curse or a blessing in disguise? So again, don't judge. A guru externally might start shouting, but internally he'll be as calm as can be. What you see of a guru is just the tip of an iceberg. So we have no right to judge any guru. I would take it further to say we have no right to judge anybody, anything, any person, any animal. No. Because what we see is but the tip of an iceberg. The guru is established in dharma. Tap Murti. He does tapa. What is tapa? Tapa reminds me when Shrishti happened, right? When the Shrishti came in place, what happened? Brahmaji came out of the lotus and he was sitting and there was water everywhere. And when he opened his eyes, he got petrified because he did not know where did he come from, right? What was his purpose? What was he supposed to do? There was nobody else. Who created him? All these questions were gushing through his mind. And when he looked out, what did he see? He saw the ocean. And when he looked up, what did he see? The sky, and not a soul in sight. He did not know anything. So what did he do was, he took a dip. He went straight into the stem of the lotus on which he was sitting. He went down and down and down and down and down. He wanted to go as deep as he could to figure out where the stem of lotus was coming out from. Right? कहाँ से आ रहा है? हम जानते हैं ना. At that time, Brahmaji did not know that it is coming from the Nabhi of Sri Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. He did not know. So he could not reach the end. Then he looked up. He started looking up. There was no end. And then when the waves were going, patash, patash, the waves said, thap, thap. The waves, when they were lashing, the sound of thap, 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 thap came. Then Brahmaji said, maybe I have to do tap. What is tap? What is austerity? Huh? Do we do any tap in our life? If we explain it to the children, it will be as simple as saying, sit straight. No matter what, don't slouch. It is not good for you. And when you have made up your mind to sit straight, you will sit straight no matter how much it hurts initially, because eventually it is good for you. When you tell, don't eat sweets, it is not good for you. No matter how great a sweet tooth you have, you won't eat sweets. And as you grow, the level of the tap can be increased. Remaining quiet every day for 4 hours. Abstaining from unnecessary things. Not getting tempted to buy that one new dress. These are all simple forms of tap. What is tap then? Tap is controlling your senses, controlling your desires. That is tap. When we control our desires, when we become the masters of our senses, we are doing tap. And it is not easy. Oh, the senses and our desires will rebel. There will be a revolution in our mind and our beings. But what do we have to do? Hold on. When we say no, it means no. Because what? We know it is not good for us. So when we are saying tapa, you end up doing things which you know are good for you. What are the things which are good for you? The things which elevate you as an individual, which help you realize your individuality, which helps you realize the divinity in you. But for that, there is going to be a rebel. Your mind will become a rebel. Your senses will become a rebel. And what do you have to do then? Tap. No matter what, you don't give it. That is tap. So Brahmaji sat down. He did tapa, 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 tapa. And when he did tapa, the Chatushloki Bhagavad came to him. What is the Chatushloki Bhagavad? We have done the Chatushloki Bhagavad in great depth. We'll share it with you again. It talks about the creation, the creator, the Maya. In 4 shloks, Brahmaji was given gyan about Shrishti, about existence. And in the 4th shlok, he surrendered also. And that Chatushloki Bhagavad has been expanded to 18,000 shlokas. Why? For our understanding. जो ब्रह्मा जी 4 श्लोकों में समझ गए, वो हम 18 में भी समझ जाए तो बहुत बड़ी बात होगी. People say, right, if you have read the Bhagavad or you're doing the Bhagavad 3-4 times, it is not even the beginning of doing Bhagavad. It is just trying to do the Bhagavad, trying to read the Granth. It is not even reading the Granth. When you do 20-25 times, then somewhere you'll start understanding. And what happens? A person will come to a session, sit down or a few sessions and say कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. भाई उसके लिए तप करना पड़ेगा. उसके लिए you will have to listen till you understand. ऐसा नहीं कि I ऊपर से चला गया, समझ ही नहीं आया, I did not understand, मजा नहीं आया. अरे भाई ये मजा आने वाली चीज थोड़ी है. This is not for enjoyment. If you want enjoyment, go watch TV. Netflix is free. आराम से Zoom chatting करो, सबसे मिलके बातें करो. Enjoy ना. There are various ways of enjoying yourself. Kindly forget the notion of enjoyment when you are sitting to understand a Granth. This is not enjoyment. Nobody is here to entertain you. This is truth as it is. And if you don't understand it now, you have to do tapa. You have to be persistent कि आज नहीं समझ आया, कल नहीं समझ आया, 20 सेशंस के बाद में नहीं समझ आया, पर समझ आएगा. I'm going to hear till I understand. ऐसा नहीं कि I'm going to hear till I enjoy it. Then it is not tapa, right? So Brahmaji did tap. Tap, he understood the secrets. The Chatushloki Bhagavad came to him. This Bhagavad, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, is not an ordinary scripture. This is the last scripture that Ved Vyasji wrote. And it is not meant to be sugar-coated. It is not meant to cajole you. It is not meant for your enjoyment. Sorry. It is meant to help you to connect to the divine within. It is meant to help you to connect to divinity. And mind you, whatever you are doing, be it chanting or going to satsangs, if it is a mere enjoyment, then there is a big problem. So whatever you are doing, ask yourself, is this Hanuman Chalisa chanting helping me to connect? Is this Vishnu Sahasranam chanting helping me to connect? Is this Hare Krishna Kirtan helping me to connect? Or it has just become another time pass for me? Another source of enjoyment for me? It can happen. Many sadhaks get lost because they start enjoying the enjoyment, because it is also a fulfillment of a sense organ, right? Senses. The senses are being pampered because they are enjoying the scriptures. But unse pucho connection hua? They would not be able to answer. So again, be careful. There are various ways in which you can enjoy, right? This should not become another way of enjoyment. Scriptures, sadhana is meant for you to connect. And to understand them, you have to be persistent. You have to listen. You have to tell yourself कि एक दिन समझ आएगा. Until I don't understand, as Dattatreya ji said, the ant works tirelessly. So too should the sadhak work tirelessly to understand the secrets of this divine. नहीं तो नहीं होगा. So, tapa, right? Tyag. Tyag? Of course, tyag. Yes, giving up things. Don't ask what the world has given me. Ask what you can give to the world. Focus on giving and not taking. Tyag. Satya. A guru is always truthful. And Ramayana ji mein bhi kehte hain na, it says, when a guru or a minister or a counselor takes to sugarcoat his words and takes to a lie to make you happy, that is the result of a downfall of any individual or a kingdom. Right? Bantri, guru, especially a guru, especially a counselor, especially a bantri, who are supposed to give you right advice. They are not supposed to give you advices which you would like to hear. That is what we like, right? We like people who are around us who talk as per what we like. We like a guru, we like a teacher who's going to make us hear what we want to hear. Arey bhai, that is not the purpose. There are gurus who are going to hit you to awaken you. Who? You look at Vivekananda ji, huh? Vivekananda ji and Ramakrishna Paramahansa. A beautiful, beautiful guru-shishya relationship. Vivekananda ji was just a mere Narendra. Had Ramakrishna ji not awakened him, would Vivekananda ji be Vivekananda? And Ramakrishna ji had to actually, and Vivekananda ji, Narendra, was not an easy person to handle. He was very strong in his pursuit and his beliefs and his mithya and maya. He could never believe that a Devi could come and talk to Ramakrishna Paramahansa. But there was a certain pull towards Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He did not know what was pulling me towards him. So he would go and they would sit and they would talk, and Ramakrishna ji used to love to eat. Huh? See, there's a long story behind this. Kabhi karenge. For him, he would eat. Why? Because whenever he felt, see, most of the gurus, they are in the world for a reason. Once that purpose is done, you leave the world, because they're desireless any which ways, right? When you're desireless, you don't live. You go to another realm, a higher realm. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa knew that Vivekananda was not yet ready. And he could not leave. He was yet to teach. So what he did was, whenever his soul would start leaving his body, because there was nothing to hold him, desires hold you to this world, right? So he would put all his love and desires towards food. So he'll say, jalebi le aao, pakode le aao. In the middle of the satsang, suddenly he will say, laddu leke aana, and he'll eat. His wife used to get very embarrassed. So once his wife said, what kind of a sage are you? People come, people think all you are thinking about what is being made in the kitchen. So he said laughingly, he said, listen, the day I stop eating, the day my love for food is gone, remember that it will be the time for me to go. And that is what happened. Once she set a big plate, because he liked variety on his plate. Jalebi bhi hai, to samosa bhi hai, to he would eat. So he said, no, I'm not hungry. The day he said, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat, she started crying. Somebody asked her, why are you crying? Probably he is not feeling well today. She said, no, he will go. His time on Bhubi is up. His work is done. He had told me, the day I don't show any interest in food, it will be time for me to go. And this Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he used to love. So once Vivekananda ji, that time Narendra was going, and he told Narendra, Suno Narendra, mere liye na, that particular shop which is going to come on your way, on the way back, okay? Don't buy my pakoras when you're going. Buy my pakoras on the way back and get those hot pakoras immediately to me, and please give them to me. I want to eat them. They have been on my mind for the past 3 days. Now, Vivekananda ji and that Narendra said, oh my God, what kind of a guru is he? And should he be eating so many pakoras? They are not good for health, fried and oily. As a guru, he should have sattvic ahar. Judgment, isn't it? As a guru, he should have sattvic ahar. He should eat fruits, apple, light food. What pakoda from a particular store that he's calling for? See how we judge. But he said, okay, if Guru ne bola hai, so I'll have to bring it. So he got the pakoras and he put it on a plate, hot and nice, and he took it to his Guru. That much of respect and love he had for his Guru, because he realized that Ramakrishna Paramahansa is not an ordinary soul. And dil ka dil se nata hota hai na, so his heart was being pulled by Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So he said, oh, thank you so much. These apples are amazing. But I had asked you to bring pakoras. Why did you get apples for me? Huh? Vivekananda ji was shocked. He said, what? I wanted to get apples for you. It was there in my mind. However, I still got those pakoras and they are still hot. And I got it from that particular shop. They're lying in front of you. These are pakoras. These are not apples. No, Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, no, these are apples. I had asked you to get pakoras. Why did you get apples? Now Vivekananda ji said, no bhai, these are pakoras, these are not apples. Wait, if you don't believe me, let me call. He shouted for all the other disciples to come in, and they came in. And Vivekananda ji asked, tell Guruji, what is this? These are pakoras, right? Guruji saying they're apples. And Guruji looked at them and said, aren't they apples? All of them were quiet. They said, when these two are talking, there has to be some reason. It is best if we remain quiet because we do not know. Kaha Vivekananda ji or kaha Ramakrishna Paramahansa ji, they are talking. There must be something to it. And they kept talking. And finally, Ramakrishna Paramahansa ji said, Mujhe bhi pata hai ki these are pakoras. After when did he say, I also know these are pakoras? When Vivekananda ji said, okay, if you think these are apples, let them be apples. And Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, yes, that is how you should be with your Guru. You have to have that much faith. You have to not take the support of your own intellect, own mind, own buddhi. You have to break that ego ki, yes, probably what he is saying is right. Nahi, what he is saying is right. I am wrong. Agar Guru bole raat hai, when it is bright and sunny, you have to say, yes, then it is night. You do not know. What is the reason for him to call this bright sunny day night? And what is the indication? So at that time, he said, now you are suitable to get knowledge from me. Because in spite of knowing that these are pakoras, you said, yes, okay. चाहे गुस्से में ही बोला हो, चाहे annoy होके ही बोला हो, you said, okay, if you are saying these are apples, let them be apples. I agree they are apples. At that time, Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, I know these are pakoras. But if you want to take knowledge, when he says these are apples, these are apples. Beautiful, isn't it? So our attitude towards a guru. And with that kind of an attitude, the guru forms an arbor around us. Upbeat stories of how a guru was made. Guru made the other person. Ramakrishna Paramahansa made Vivekananda. And when his work was done, he left. Again, Brahmaji, he did tapa. And Brahmaji, the knowledge was revealed to him by that divine who became his guru. For that you have to surrender. Satya Murti, Dharma Murti, Prem Murti, love. A guru is very loving. We've seen all the gurus that we have come across. They might look very hard to talk to sometimes, but they are very, very loving. Prem Murti hote, Karuna Murti and Shama Murti. Karuna, Prem. When you look at the story of Shivaji, what do you think? Shivaji was Shivaji because of his own effort? No. Shivaji was Shivaji because of Ramdas ji, his guru. Shivaji was fighting and he started losing and he got tired of this entire fight and lose and win thing. He said, enough is enough. I don't want to do this anymore. Shivaji was going to give up. And he went to his guru. He said, I don't want all this. I don't want the kingdom. I don't want the fights. I don't want anything. I don't want the responsibilities. I refuse to be a part of it anymore. Here is my sword. Here is my crown. Here is my mohor. Take everything. I don't want anything. And the Guruji said, it's okay. You want to hand over your kingdom to me? Shivaji said, yes, please. You take it. You take care of it. You run it. I will give everything to you and I'll go away. Guruji said, ठीक है, दे दो. So Guruji took the crown, took the kingdom, took the sword, sitting very calmly, very quietly. And Shivaji turned around and was going and he was about to mount his horse. When Guruji called, he said, please, idhar aana to. She said, now this is my kingdom, right? He said, yes, it is yours. I have given everything to you. This is yours. And this is my, the entire Sashan, the rule, it belongs to me. The kingdom belongs to me. I am the king. Shivaji said, हाँ Guruji, you are the king. आपको जो करना है करिए. He said, okay. Me being the king, I have decided that you will rule on my behalf. You will fight on my behalf. You will make sure that I am never defeated. Here is the sword, here is the board, here is the crown. You are in charge of ruling my kingdom. That is why there is this orange ochre flag. And that day on, he never lost a battle because he was not fighting for himself. He was fighting for his guru. यही फर्क आता है. That is why we say, guru होना जरूरी है. Why? Because then you don't behave for your own honor. You start behaving well for your guru's honor. होता है ना कि if I behave like this, what will people say? कि देखो, ये इसका गुरु और ये ऐसे behave करती है. Then you went, no, I have to protect the dignity of my guru. I have to protect the respect of my guru. That my disappears. I have to protect my respect. I have to protect, no, this knowledge is the knowledge of my guru. Otherwise, it is my knowledge. Let me make it very clear. There is no my knowledge. There is no your knowledge. There is no this sanstha's knowledge. There is no that sanstha's knowledge. There is no this religion's knowledge. There is no that religion's knowledge. All is divine knowledge. And everybody, be it me, you, the greatest of sages, everybody is just repeating the eternal knowledge. Nobody can claim anything being theirs, any word being theirs, because this is an eternal dharma. Many have spoken before. Many will speak later. The same truth will be repeated again and again and again. Nobody has a claim saying, "Ye maine bola hai." The problem arises when somebody says, "This is my knowledge." So when you surrender to a guru, you become Vivekanand. When you surrender to a guru, a Shivaji is born. When the surrender to a guru happens, Brahmaji gets Gyan. When a surrender to a guru happens, Giri becomes Totakacharya. When a surrender to a guru happens, the divine reveals itself. गुरु गोविंद दोनों खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आप की मोहे गोविंद दियो बनाए, मोहे गोविंद दियो बनाए. And that is why a guru becomes an arbor, because he protects you from treading on the path which should not be trodden. And when guru becomes your kavach, Ramji says, who can destroy me? Because my kavach, my armor, my protector is my guru. And when a person surrenders that way, he is undefeatable. Undefeatable. Maya cannot touch a person who is protected by the guru, because the person won't sway. Why? To hold up so that nobody disrespects his guru. These things are very beautiful. And if you can't surrender to somebody, if you can't look up to somebody, when we started, that ego will not be cracked. So, seekhna seekho. Open your eyes, look around. And then when you see a guru, when you see a teacher of awakener everywhere, you will feel the divine everywhere. And when you feel the divine everywhere, the divinity in you will get active. फिर तो कोई आपको रोक के दिखा ले. इधर ललकार, हम तो घर से निकले ही थे, बांध के सर पे कफन, जा हथेली पर लिए अब बढ़ चले हैं ये कदम. जिंदगी तो अपनी महमा मौत की महफिल में है, सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, अब हमारे दिल में है. ये जज्बा होना चाहिए एक साधक के अंदर. सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव. And the bhajan that we were singing last week, let's understand it. It clearly says, yeah, यब दीयब सैयब आप कियो पुनि त्याग वैराग अथाक लियो, वनवास लियो मुख मौन रयो, दृढ़ आसन पद्म लगाए दियो. यब दीयब सैयब आप कियो पुनि त्याग वैराग अथाक लयो, मुख मौन रयो वनवास लियो, दृढ़ आसन पद्म लगाए दियो. मन पौन निरोध स्वबोध कियो, हठ योग प्रयोग सुधार पयो. जप वेद जपे तप त्यो ही तपे, और से ही उदासी लही तब है. सब कर लिया. And then he say, and अथाक मतलब जन्म आफ्टर जन्म आफ्टर जन्म. It is not that what we are like, we have been on this path for 6 months, 2 years, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Now, the sadhak who's talking right now, who's singing right now, he has been on this path for ages. Because this path is not for the restless or the hasty. Okay? This path is not for the people who don't have patience. This path is for those like Shabri. This path is for those like Hanuman, who base their entire life on prarthana, prayatna, and the most important, pratiksha. Have the patience. Wait. When it has to happen, it will happen. होने को अभी हो जाए, ना होने को 10 जन्म लग जाए, 1000 जन्म लग जाए. But you have to be willing. ऐसा नहीं कि यार I have already done prayers for 6 months, अब तो कुछ होना चाहिए. किसने बोला कुछ होना चाहिए? What do you know about your Adi, Ant? You don't know anything about your Atit. किसने? Who are you to decide when the divine should reveal himself to you? Patience, patience, patience. प्रार्थना करिए, प्रयत्न करिए, और उसके बाद प्रतीक्षा करिए. Pray, put in all your effort with determination, dedication, discipline, and then have patience to wait. जब राम को आना होगा, राम आएंगे. तब तक आप प्रार्थना कायम रखिए, करते रहिए. तब शास्त्र, then he's saying, again, हठ योग किया, प्रयोग किया, वेद जप किया, सब कर लिया. Then he says, तब शास्त्र के नयधारी धरे, बत बंडन खंडन भेद लिए, वह साधन बार अनंत कियो, तदपि कछु हाथ हयो न प्रयो. अरे सारे शास्त्र पढ़ लिए, इनके खंडन कर दिए, पूरे वर्णन कर दिए, सब कर दिया. अथा कितने सालों से, जन्मों से सब कर दिया. शास्त्र पढ़े, उनका बंधन खंडन कर दिया, सब कुछ कर दिया. वेद पढ़ लिए, जप लिया, सब कर लिया, कुछ नहीं हुआ. अब क्या विचारत है मन से, अब क्या विचारत है मन से, कछु और रहा उन साधन से. कुछ तो हुआ. ये साधन ही रह गए, साधना नहीं बन पाई. साधन ही करते रह गए. अब क्या विचारत है मन से, कछु और रहा उन साधन से. भेद सद्गुरु कोई ना भेद लगे, मुख आगल है तह बात कहे, करुणा हम पावत है तुम की, भव बार रही सुगुरु गम की. करुणा हम पावत है तुम की, भव बात रही सुगुरु गम की. पल में प्रगटे मुख आगल से, जब सद्गुरु पल में प्रगटे. जब सद्गुरु चरण सप्रेम बसे. It's emotional. That is what it is. Always remember, when you're sitting in a katha, or you're doing your prayers, when you're reading your scriptures, when you're doing your analysis, if your eyes don't water and your throat does not choke, कुछ कमी रह गई है, क्योंकि that bhav of love has not come, that yearning for the Lord has not come, that gratitude to the Guru has not come. The biggest form of prayers is a throat which is choked and he cannot sing a chant or say a word. And the eyes which are so full of tears that they drip and drip and drip. Not because of sorrow, but because of gratitude and love for the God. These tears are a proof कि there has been some connect somewhere. कुछ तो दिल में कनेक्शन हुआ है प्रभु से. तन से मन से धन से सब से गुरुदेव की आत्म प्रेम बसे. तब कारज सिद्ध बने अपनो. तब कारज सिद्ध बने अपनो. रस अमृत पावही प्रेम गनो. वह सत्य सुधा दर्शावेगी. चतुरांगुल है द्रव से मिल है. रस देव निरंजन को पी वही. वही जोग जुगा जुग सोदी वही. पर प्रेम प्रभाव बधे प्रगटे. सब आगम भेद सो और वसे. वह केवल को बिज ज्ञानी कहे. वह केवल को बिज ज्ञानी कहे. निज को अनुभव बतलाई दिए. वह केवल को निज ज्ञानी कहे. निज को अनुभव बतलाई दिए. गुरु है ना, कोई भेद नहीं रखता. He gives away all his dearest secrets to a seeker who is really desperate for the Lord. It is not a student who is looking for a guru. It is actually the guru who is desperately looking for that one, only one, who he can share his experience with and say कि this is my experience. मुझे प्रभु मिले, तुझे भी मिल जाएगी. बट ऐसे शिष्य भी तो होने चाहिए ना, जिनको गुरु अपना अनुभव बता दे. जय श्री कृष्ण. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. 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 जय बोलो हनुमान की. बोलो बजरंग बली की जय. जय श्री राम. जय श्री कृष्ण. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम